intercultural capability, collaboration across cultures. So all these are the essential attributes of global competency. So when we have this sixth criterion, especially the leadership, the strategies, the vision, the mission. So when we design all these things, we should keep this in mind. And the third focus area is inculcating a value system among our students. So this, we all know that higher education aims not only at developing skills, not only at developing global competencies, we have to inculcate a value system among our students. Cooperation, mutual understanding, truth, righteousness. So everything should be focused on building this value system. And of course, the fourth one is promoting the use of technology. Technological advancement and innovations in education transactions have to be undertaken by all higher education institutions. So traditional methods, we all know, we are all teachers. We know that traditional methods of delivering higher education have become less motivating to a large number of students. So we should keep pace with the developments in other spheres of human endeavor. So we should provide them state-of-the-art education technologies. So the leadership and the management of colleges should aim at developing the technological infrastructure of the institutions. That is very essential, both hardware as well as software, because we have to get ourselves accustomed to newer and newer versions of technological use. And the fifth key focus is the quest for excellence. So the NAAC assessment aims at nothing less than excellence. So this excellence can start from the very preparation of the SSR. It can start from a SWOT analysis. It can start from having an introspection on all our strengths and our weaknesses. So having laid a foundation with these focus areas of NAAC assessment in general, especially with regard to the sixth criterion, let us move especially to criterion number 6, which is governance, leadership, and management. This criterion measures the effective functioning of an institution by looking at the policies and practices it has evolved in the matter of planning human resources, recruitment, training, performance appraisal, financial management, and the overall role of leadership. As we are aware, there are 5 key indicators under this particular criterion. The institutional vision and leadership, strategy development and deployment, faculty empowerment strategies, financial management and resource mobilization, internal quality assurance system. So these are the 5 key indicators or the 5 key aspects which come under this particular criterion. And for affiliated PG colleges, there are 96 metrics in the NAAC SSR, 36 qualitative and 60 quantitative, out of which this sixth criterion has 16 metrics, 10 qualitative and 6 quantitative. Remember, this is a criterion in which there are more qualitative questions than quantitative questions. So we need to elaborate more. We need to write in 500 words all our initiatives under this particular criterion. So let us look at these in detail. The first key indicator is vision and leadership. So every institution has its own vision and mission. Long-term visions, short-term objectives, short-term missions. So every college, every higher education institution has it. So in order to achieve this vision and mission, the leadership should set values, and participative decision-making process is important. So this criterion very well focuses on participative administration of an institution. So in many places that participative aspect is emphasized. And the leadership plays a pivotal role in building an institutional culture. The leadership, the management, the administration, and all of us, every teacher is a leader of an institution, leader in some sense of the other, because the administration is participative. And the leadership plays a very, very pivotal role in building the institutional culture. The formal and informal arrangements in the institution to coordinate the academic and administrative planning and implementation are also important. The next one is strategy development and deployment. So this is the second key indicator. So we have to have a strategic, a perspective, vision of the institution, the academic areas, administrative areas, infrastructure, programs, placement, higher education, and there should be participation and transparency. The third one is faculty empowerment strategies. Faculty form the backbone of an institution. So the faculty should be empowered in whatever way necessary and in whatever way possible. So that begins with recruitment, performance appraisal, planning professional development programs, seeking appropriate feedback, analysis of responses. So all these come under the empowerment strategies. So there should be adequate efforts to upgrade the professional competencies of the staff and mechanisms evolved for their regular performance appraisal. The fourth key indicator is financial management and resource mobilization. So there should be proper budgeting for an institution. There should be optimum utilization of finance, mobilization of resources, and there should be established procedures and processes for planning and allocation of financial resources, strategies for mobilizing resources, transparency. There should be audits, both internal and external audits from time to time. So all these are essential for the qualitative improvement of an institution. And the fifth key indicator is the internal quality assurance system, usually displayed, showcased through the functioning of the IQAC. So the self-regulated responsibilities of the higher education institutions aimed at continuous improvement of quality and achieving academic excellence. Mechanisms for academic and administrative auditing, quality management strategies. So every institution is supposed to have an IQAC, and almost all colleges have an IQAC now. So these are the key indicators in a bit detail. So we will be taking each aspect one by one and having our own deliberations on the same. So the first key indicator is institutional vision and leadership. There are only two qualitative questions, no quantitative question under this particular key indicator. There are only two QLMs under this particular key indicator. So here we are supposed to describe the vision and mission of the institution. And how is the vision and mission how is it reflected in the governance of the institution? So how do the vision and mission and the governance of the institution, how do they synchronize? So we have vision and mission on one side, and the ideal situation is that the governance of the institution, the planning of the institution, everything should be in tune with the vision and mission statements of the institution. So that is what is expected of us under this particular question. We need to explain. We are not merely asked to give the vision and mission. More than that, we are supposed to explain how this vision and mission is reflected in the governance, in the actual administration. So especially especially for the participative administration. I said earlier, participative administration is given a lot of emphasis under this particular criterion. We can especially mention about there are various bodies in a college like college council, heads of departments, staff meetings, staff committees. Teachers are assigned various duties, responsibilities, IQAC, so everything. So all these reflect the decentralization of authority, administrative authority in an institution. So we have to explain all these aspects. So we all have vision and mission. So it is enough that we apply the vision and mission in the actual administration of the institution. We need to be aware of the vision and mission first and then put it into practice in every step we take for an institution. So a word about perspective planning. So it is actually, usually it is described as a blueprint regarding the objectives and targets of long run growth. Perspective planning is usually with regard to long-term goals. It is holistic. This is usually prepared for 10 to 20 years, but it is also separated between subsector plans, which range from 3 to 5 years. It is a dynamic, continuous process, and this is based on teamwork, vision of the institution, creativity, and commitment to work. So when we need to have strategic perspective planning, we should plan with a long-term goal in mind. This has to be systematic, sequential. It can be summarized that perspective planning is an innovative, continuous, future-oriented, and holistic plan of education.
Rahul?
Yes, miss. I'll contact Archana, miss. 1 second. Yes, it's visible, Father.
Okay.
Okay.
So I was just sharing this vision and mission of a particular college, a prominent college. So if when they write the SSR, they need to focus on how this vision, for example, to form credible, innovative, and socially committed citizens. So how do their activities reflect this particular vision? So every activity should be aimed at forming credible citizens, socially committed citizens. So all their social extension activities, all their academic activities, all their value education. So everything is aimed at this particular. So they need to explain how this vision is translated into action. And the vision is properly mentioned. So we can include all these things in the day-to-day running of the college, because we run the college based on this particular vision and mission. And regarding future plans, participation of non-teaching staff and students are also asked for in some manuals. You know that NAAC has manuals for different types of institutions. In some manuals, the NTS and the student participation are also specially mentioned. Vision and mission, list of teachers, students and non-teaching staff on decision-making bodies, because we have to explain the decentralization of administration and composition of various committees, governing body minutes for the formation of committees, website link to the vision, mission. So I have put the link to various institutions, vision and mission here, some prominent institutions. Let me not go to that in detail now. So the next is regarding the effective leadership. So this is actually a case study of decentralization and participative management. So I have gone through many SSRs submitted by highly ranked institutions, and I'm just citing a few examples of the activities, the case studies which they presented. So these are all taken from different SSRs, and especially SSRs of top ranked institutions. So for example, some colleges have mentioned about their celebrations. Colleges may have their own jubilee celebrations. So how decentralization and participative management was evident in the celebration of the college, and establishment of an independent counseling center, successful implementation and functioning of health and fitness club, establishment of the college council. So one college mentioned about the establishment of the college council and committees as part of this decentralization, and delegated the financial budgeting to the directors and heads of departments, functioning of the PTA, deanery, especially autonomous colleges, they have a deanery. That means they have deans for various schools or sections. Deans for arts and science, deans for student affairs, extension, research, international affairs. So this is actually a decentralization of authority. A few of the Kerala colleges have mentioned the Onam celebration as an example of participative administration, and how participative type of administration is taken care of in the colleges. And then colleges would say about different portfolios like vice principals, deans, heads of departments, HODs, and similar. Participation in university arts festival, some people would describe that as part of participative administration. Campus rejuvenation project, introduction of new programs of study. If a college wants to have a new program of study, so the workshop, the thought process has to begin from the lower levels of individual levels. So it has to come up, discussions at various levels. So finally it is implemented. So annual day celebrations of the college, liberal manner of disbursement of financial aid and scholarships and endowment. So I'm just citing these from different SSRs. So delegation of powers to the executive officer, etc., annual budget, campus development project envisaging the infrastructural requirements, the CPE fund mobilization process. Some people would cite as an example of library advisory committee, preparing the annual plan and making budgetary allocations for the college. School system, a particular college especially mentions about the schools. There are different schools: School of Life Sciences, School of Physical Sciences, School of Computing Sciences, School of Languages and Culture, School of Management Studies. This is more befitting the autonomous colleges, but other colleges also can follow a similar pattern where departments of similar nature are grouped together to form a school, and that gives a lot of decentralization. Functioning of student council, one college would specially mention about the functioning of student council, how effectively the student council is formed and how are they involved in the administration of the college. Such a Bharata mission, library advisory committee, which I mentioned earlier also. So these are some of the illustrations regarding the participative management administration. So we need to explain this as case study. Choose something which is most befitting to your college and cultivate it gradually to evolve as a very fruitful strategy. Then the next is a strategy development and deployment. Here also we need to describe one activity which is successfully implemented based on the strategic plan. So the college would have had a perspective strategic plan before. So as part of the strategic plan, so we need to describe one activity which is implemented. So that means the colleges should take care to plan long-term strategies, and they should also successfully implement these plannings. So we need to explain one of those most successful implemented plan. So we need to paste a link for additional information. So here also I cite a few examples of how colleges have cited various strategic plannings, implemented plans. For example, installing of CCTV cameras in the campus, starting of programs, like one college said they started MCOM in a particular year, enhanced the seats, and then seats of BCom. So all these they see as the fruit of their strategic plan. Intensified extension activities, integrated sports complex and swimming pool with UGC funding, introduction of new programs of study, promotion of research among the faculty and students. So a particular college would be having this as their strategic plan. We should promote research among the faculty. That is their planning. So how did they implement that? That is what they explain. And there are also infrastructural planning, construction of buildings, library, lab, automation for question paper setting, evaluation, course allotment, library use, infrastructure development, implementation of the college management system, total campus solution, introduction of skill education, which is to create opportunities and space for the development of the talents of the youth, master plan for next 20 years, new programs, ICT, girls hostel, female students amenity center. So all these are various strategic developments, language lab, EduSat room, developing an affiliated college to the level of a global university, intra-university center for convergent studies, training and placement cell, strategic empowering Dalit and reserved category students. So these are different plannings done by different colleges. So the next would be the functioning of the institution's effectiveness and efficiency. As visible from the policies, we need to explain the policies, administrative setup, appointment, service rules, and procedures. So this question aims at assessing the effectiveness and efficiency of the administration, and how is the administration led by policies and plans. So we need to have a clear idea about all these things. Here we have to describe the organogram of the institution. So organogram, you all know, it is actually a hierarchical representation of the administrative structure of a college. I'll just take you to the organogram of a couple of colleges. For example, the organogram of Loyola Chennai is available on their website. So this is the organogram, starting from the board of management to the governing body, chairman, deputy chairman, vice chairman, principal, secretary. So very, very clearly and nicely they have explained their organization structure. So that is organogram. So all colleges will have their own organogram. You can visit the websites and see the organogram of various colleges. So we also need to prepare and be thorough with the organogram of the institution. So the next is with regard to the implementation of e-governance. This is a quantitative question. E-governance in areas of administration, finance and accounts, student admission and support, examination. So in all these aspects, the college should be having e-governance strategies. So if we choose all of this above, that means e-governance in administration, e-governance in finance and accounts, e-governance in student admission and support, and in examination, that would be a very good situation. So the data requirements for these are the ERP, the Enterprise Resource Planning document, screenshots of user interfaces. So you can have the screenshots. So I'm just trying to share the screenshot of the interfaces of Stella Maris College. So all our colleges will definitely have various college management softwares for student admission, student fee payment, examination, registration, and all these things. So the screenshots of various of these. So they have put plenty of screenshots how the students can log in and use the infrastructure, the IT for various purposes. And the module description, the ERP module description is there. That also is necessary as a document. So that was then details of implementation of e-governance in areas of operation. So manuals are necessary, the user manuals, the description of how this management system, and the name of the vendor with contact details, year of implementation, they are all needed as supporting documents. The standard operating procedure especially says that institutional expenditure statements for the heads of e-governance implementation should be reflected in the audited statement. So the audited statement of the college should especially have this item of expense for the e-governance implementation, the ERP document, use screenshots, annual e-governance report approved by the managing body of the college, bills for the expenditure on implementation. So all these are necessary as per the standard operating procedure. Then we have the faculty empowerment strategies. So the first one is regarding the welfare measures for teaching and non-teaching staff. So we need to give the list of existing welfare measures for teaching and non-teaching staff to a maximum of 500 words. So here also I have gone through various SSRs, and I'm just listing for you the welfare measures followed by various colleges. So most of this may be very familiar to us, and many of these are also implemented in our own colleges, but some may not be implemented. So we can just think of implementing the maximum possible number of welfare measures for both for teaching faculty as well as for non-teaching faculty. Gratuity, maternity leave, pension, medical facility, commutation of pension. Remember, these are both for aided sector as well as for self-financing sector. So some of these may be mandatory for aided sector, but for self-financing sector, there may be voluntary welfare measures. Book allowance, earned leave encashment, leave for overseas project or conference, unearned leave encashment, health fund scheme, sabbatical leave. There are colleges which give sabbatical leave for faculty, health insurance, interest-free loan, festival allowance, festival gift, legal aid, counseling, and some staff members, especially non-teaching staff or even teaching staff, would be permitted to pursue higher studies through distance education mode, seed money for research work, training for improving computing and communication skills, and office filing systems, mainly for non-teaching staff, permission to attend FDP, orientation and refresher programs, financial aid for the education of children or for the non-teaching staff, and preference. Many colleges give preference for the admission of the children of staff members. PF facility, recognition of achievements. So some colleges would give cash award for 100% attendance, and some would give for 25 years of service. Free Wi-Fi facility, cooperative society, daycare, gym facilities, staff tour, free uniform, annual get-together of staff with family, sick room, restroom facility, staff parking, staff quarters, subsidized canteen, stationery store facility, transportation, free transportation in the college bus for staff members, PF and group insurance, ATM facility, increments up to 10,000 per month on award of PhD, and considerable increment for completing MPhil or qualifying NET and SLET. Incentives are provided to the staff for motivating students to get university ranks and for achieving excellence in results. Fee concession is provided for wards of the staff studying in the college. Laptop and mobile phone facility and data card facility to teachers based on their role and position. So all these are welfare measures. These are not simply utopian ideas. These have been picked from various SSRs because there is some college somewhere which implements these welfare measures. So we can also try these welfare measures if we have not tried this. The list is very long. It simply continues. Ambulance facility, paternity leave as per government norms, principal's award for best performing teacher and non-teaching staff, honoring the staff with gold coin at the time of retirement, housewarming gift, blazers for all the teaching staff, on-campus free medical facilities. This just continues. So we can categorize them into academic measures, welfare measures, leave measures, training. So we can, all these welfare measures can be categorized into various streams. So the next question is regarding the quantitative question. So the percentage of teachers provided with financial support to attend conferences and workshops. And for membership fee of professional bodies. Every subject will have a professional body. So if the teachers wish to take membership in professional bodies, the administration, the management may give aid to the staff members for that. And also financial support to attend conferences and workshop. So this question asks for the percentage of teachers provided with such support in the past 5 years. So definitely colleges have to focus on giving aid to teachers and non-teaching staff to attend conferences and trainings. So the policy document on providing financial support is necessary. So in many places, policy documents are required. So the college should have a specific policy about all these welfare measures. So every college can prepare a policy document. The speciality with the policy document is that the policy will remain in force even if people change. That the people in authority, people in administration may change from time to time, but the policy is there. So if there is a policy, anybody who comes to authority has to follow it. So that is the benefit of preparing a policy document. So the IQAC can initiate preparing policy document for the staff welfare measures. So that can include all these things, especially for financial aid, for attending conferences, for professional body membership, etc. So the next is average number of professional development and administrative training programs organized by the institution. So how many programs have been organized by the college for teaching staff and for non-teaching staff? Professional development programs, administrative training programs. So we need to periodically organize development programs for teaching staff as well as non-teaching staff. So the details are necessary, even the brochures, reports, participants, photographs. So all these are supporting documents for such. This is also with regard to the average percentage of teachers undergoing faculty development programs, whether it is online or face-to-face. During the pandemic period, we have seen, and we are still seeing online FDP programs. So the percentage of teachers undergoing online or face-to-face FDP programs during the last 5 years, orientation program, FDPs, induction programs, refresher courses, short-term courses of at least a week's duration. So we need to give a supporting document, the IQAC report summary mentioning all these things, and the details of teachers attending professional development programs. Usually, when we say refresher faculty orientation programs, we mean the programs for the stipulated period recommended by UGC or ICT. E-copy of the certificates are necessary as supporting document. So list of participating teachers, annual reports. If one teacher is attending more than one program, that is counted only as one, not counted more than once. So we are counting the number of teachers and not the number of programs attended. So this is asking for the number of teachers who attended programs. Programs of duration less than 1 week will not be considered. So that is specially mentioned in the standard operating procedure. So this question particularly asks for faculty development programs of at least 1 week duration attended by the teaching staff or the non-teaching staff for the last 5 years. So another key aspect is the performance appraisal system for teaching and non-teaching staff. So every college should have a performance appraisal system for every year for the teaching staff as well as for the non-teaching staff. This performance appraisal can be by the management, can be by the principal, can be by the HOD, can be by the friends, colleagues, peers, can be by some committee specially delegated for this purpose, can even be by students. Students also can give feedback. Usually we consider it as feedback. That also can be a performance appraisal system for teachers. So I have given the link for the performance appraisal system available in various colleges, Loyola College, WCC, Women's College. So these performance appraisal forms are there. You can also look at these forms available on their websites, on their SSR pages. So it is good that we have a performance appraisal system in our college, a specific template for the same, which every faculty member and every non-teaching staff, that can be separate, different, so has to submit. For the non-teaching staff, many colleges look at the following aspects as components of assessment: their task execution, skill upgradation, higher studies, punctuality, work discipline and maintenance, front office management, help desk and telephone behavior or the niceties of attending telephone or such mechanisms, dress code, neatness, interpersonal relations, and active participation in teamwork. So these are different components of assessment which can be included in the self-appraisal of staff members, especially non-teaching staff members. So the next key indicator is financial management and resource mobilization. So here we need to explain the internal external audit mechanism of the college. So every college should have an internal audit mechanism and an external audit mechanism. So we need to explain how is this implemented in the college. Also explain the role of finance committee. So next is a quantitative question asking for grants received from non-government bodies, individuals, philanthropists during the last 5 years. So this is not a research grant, which was previously covered in criteria number 3. This is different from that. This is grant help received by the college for non-research activities from non-government bodies or individuals or philanthropists. So the annual statement of accounts need to be given and details of funds received need to be given. The standard operating procedure asks for all these things: annual audited statement of accounts, copy of letter indicating the grants, funds received from respective agency, funds from own institutions or funds from own trust or sister institutions are not to be considered. That is the standard operating procedure direction. So a college receiving funds from its own sister institutions or its own trust will not be counted here. And contribution in the form of equipment and software, etc., not to be counted. Then there should be an institutional, this is qualitative, institutional strategy for mobilization of funds and optimal utilization of resources. So how does the institution mobilize funds for its functioning? What are our strategies? So I just went through many SSRs to see what are their strategies for fund mobilization. Various strategies are adopted by colleges. Aided colleges usually depend on government funding or colleges for projects, consultancy, corporate training, endowments, alumni contribution, conduct of seminars and workshops, management contribution, PTA contribution, student fees, hostel fees, funds raised by departments and associations for various activities, contribution from teachers, rent from external bodies for conducting various competitive examinations, rent from bank for ATM. Colleges who would accommodate ATM in the campus would get rent. Coaching classes for students by external bodies, where the college will get a share. Local body assistance, fund from MLA or MP fund, establishment of industry-sponsored lab, IGNO center fee. Many colleges have IGNO study center attached to the college. There is a rental for that. Annual college play showcased by the students, in which there is a contribution from the viewers. Selling of organic vegetables and mushrooms cultivated by students. So all these are various fund mobilization strategies adopted by various colleges. Optimal utilization strategy also should be explained. So the funds may be limited. So how do we optimally utilize these funds for the overall development of the college? So role of priority budgeting is there, finance committee, purchase committee, planning committee, and purchase as per standard procedures, tenders, quotations, all these are important. So the next and the last key indicator is the internal quality assurance system. So this is with regard to the IQAC. How has the IQAC contributed for institutionalizing the quality assurance strategies? So the college should have institutionalized the quality assurance strategies. That means it has been woven into the very fabric of the institution's nature. It is not an yearly affair, just we had a particular initiative for 1 year and we just forgot it. No, it has to be institutionalized, means it has to be a recurring activity of the college. It has to be there, interwoven into the very nature of the college. So the practices institutionalized as a result of IQAC initiatives. So we need to describe at least 2 practices which have become regular practices of the college as a result of IQAC initiative. If you go through various college SSRs, we will get many examples. Like many colleges would speak about the curriculum and the syllabi revision or the delivery of curriculum, the IQAC suggestions for that. Mentoring and professional counseling, many colleges would cite it as part of IQAC initiative. Audit practice, audit in various areas, academic audit, administrative audit, green audit, environmental audit, energy audit, carbon footprint, gender audit. So all these are different audits, and colleges would undertake such audits as part of IQAC initiative. And work with a scholar and scholar support programs initiated by the government. Academic audit, internship training and field visit by students, internationalization and collaboration, collaboration with various international institutions, universities. How do we collaborate? How do we have MOU with other institutions? Add-on and certificate courses. Colleges can begin add-on certificate courses as part of IQAC initiative. Colleges can have value-added courses, faculty enrichment series for a particular college. Meet the alumni, like prominent alumni are brought to the college to speak to the students about various careers, about the areas in which they succeeded in life. So that is part of the IQAC initiative. Students handbook, gateway to revolution in ICT, class monitoring committee, open forum, open discussion forum, wherein people come together and discuss various topics of interest and relevance. Noon meal program for needy students, scholarships and free ships for needy students, induction program at the time of admission, bridge courses at the beginning of a particular program in the first year. So all these are various initiatives which the IQAC can initiate. Orientation program, book bank, a particular college or a few colleges execute that. They lend books to the students for the duration of the whole semester. Birthday book gift is there in some colleges, where each student or faculty member on the birthday would gift a book to the college library. Daily speech 5 minutes during the noon break, that is also practiced. Mentoring software, leading hands program, leadership training, student training clubs, event management team. Colleges would have event management team in which a few students are trained for event management as part of their human resource development. Mandatory value education class every week is there in colleges. Paperless office, paper presentation and seminar by students. Open store for students where there is no salesperson. Students can come, take any item and drop in the amount in a particular box and leave. That open store system is there in some colleges. SMS to absentees parents, planning of IQAC through democratic means, business motivation training, participatory learning, IQAC newsletter, skill will club. Skill will club is training students in communication and soft skills, computer and language training program for non-teaching staff, commerce laboratory. I have seen commerce lab in colleges. We can think how a commerce lab can be set up. Enhancement of placement and career training, student participation in decision making, departmental interaction with IQAC and its impact, term-wise teaching plan and research activities, annual internal quality audit. So visit to institutions of excellence. A group of faculty members or faculty members in different groups can visit other institutions of excellence to learn their best practices. So a visit to an institution of excellence will have a lot of impact on a particular institution. and also academic retreat for faculty and management. Faculty and management sit together for an academic retreat, an introspection of the academic developments of the college and what all to be improved. So the next is also with regard to the IQAC, the institution's incremental increase in teaching and learning practices as part of the IQAC initiative. So what are the incremental improvements? Every college will make an incremental improvement every year. We have improved something from the last year, and last year we improved something from the previous year. So we need to explain what are the increments, especially with regard to teaching learning process, structures and methodologies of operations and learning outcomes. Two examples are specially required here. Reforms facilitated by the IQAC. So there are plenty of examples: updating of lesson plans, instructional strategies according to revised Bloom's taxonomy, reviewing the learning outcome using an indicator and set benchmark, structured feedback system, academic administrative audit, student evaluation software, reforms in exam system like online exams, open book exams, learner-centric approach, faculty development programs, IQAC teaching learning review mechanism, course attainment analysis, internships, field experience, introduction of massive online open course, MOOCs as part of the curriculum, MOUs, linkages, patents, major projects, publications, learning assistance to the Viangan students, computer lab and software for the Viangan students, empowered competitive examination cell, central facility center, incubation center, upgraded language laboratory, increase in student computer ratio, enhancement in student progression to higher education and placement, student support programs for slow and advanced learners. Experiential learning is inculcated by organizing field, industry, and institutional visits, epidemiological surveys, projects, internship, flipped classrooms, and group discussions. So these are all various examples cited by colleges. So next is quality assurance initiatives of the institution. This is a quantitative question. So does the IQAC meet regularly? If so, the minutes of the meeting, the feedbacks, how are the decisions implemented, action taken reports. So all these are necessary. So the IQAC has to meet regularly and collaborative quality initiatives with other institutions. If possible, sign an MOU with other institutions for the quality improvement of colleges. So we need to have MOUs with the excellent institutions. That will definitely be an added advantage to a college. Also, participation in NARF. Many colleges participate in NARF now. If our college has not participated in NARF, this year's NARF is the registration is already over. The submission comes this Friday. Next year, those colleges who have not registered for the NARF can attempt to register for the NARF from the next year onwards, or other quality audits recognized by state, national, or international agencies like ISO certification, NBA, etc. So we are asked to provide the practices of the college with regard to these above. For data requirement, we need to upload the AQAR. AQAR is uploaded by colleges which have gone for assessment. For the first time colleges, there is no need of AQAR. Collaborative quality initiatives, participation in NARF, copies of accreditations and certificates, and all such. Proceedings of meetings of IQAC are needed. Activities conducted under collaborative quality initiatives are needed. Supporting documents pertaining to NARF are needed. So all these are necessary as part of the standard operating procedure. A word about the NARF. We all know that NARF has different criteria. Especially NARF asks for the sanctioned strength of students, actual strength of students, male, female, or within state, outside country. That is for the regional diversity and women diversity. That is an important aspect in NARF ranking. Number of economically backward and socially challenged students. Number of students receiving tuition fee reimbursement from the government or from institution funds or from private bodies. number of students graduated, number of students placed, and what is the median salary, what is the number of students progressing to higher education, and how much amount is utilized for the library, for laboratories, for creation of capital assets, salary, maintenance, etc., and for organization of workshops, facilities for physically challenged students, lifts, ramps, walking aids. All these are necessary for the NARF. All these are good for the NARF. So those colleges who have not attempted for NARF should focus on these areas, and it is advisable that you attempt for the NARF from the next year onwards. The faculty details have to be given. In short, the various criteria of NARF are teaching, learning and resources, research and professional practice, graduation outcome, outreach and inclusivity, and perception. So if we participate in NARF, we can include it in the NAAC SSR also, and that will be a quality initiative from the part of the college. So that completes our discussion, that completes our presentation on the sixth criterion of governance, leadership and management. I have tried to explain the necessary aspects which come under this particular criterion, and I have also attempted at explaining or showcasing the various practices followed by many top rated colleges. So if we have any points to discuss, if you have any suggestions, if you have anything to ask, please feel free.
Thank you, Achin, for the informative section. The floor is open for discussion. If anybody have any queries, the floor is open for you. Yes, if anybody has any queries, you can ask now. If not, we will move to the proposing the vote of thanks. Before our next section will begin at 2:45. So kindly attend that section also. So now,
Rahul sir,
yes.
I think somebody has raised a hand.
Oh, is it? Okay. Okay. Yes.
Sir, all
Yes.
every participants can now unmute their microphone. So please unmute
Okay.
yourself.
Oh, yes.
Yes, thank you. Father, I would like to ask a simple question. So your presentation was excellent and it was highly informative. But my doubt is that, so when going through the slides of regarding the welfare measures taken by some of the institutions, so I doubt whether all these are true or maybe concocted things. So particularly in matters of private institutions or self-financing institutions, I don't know whether they will be able to do all those things in that manner. Can you?
Yeah, okay, sir, I get your point, but so we can only rely on the SSRs, right? So whatever the college provides as an official document, duly signed and sealed by the principal, has to be accepted as a genuine official document. So maybe, of course, a college cannot implement all these things. It is impossible for any of us. But at least some of the aspects which we may not have thought earlier, maybe we can think about such.
Yes.
Any welfare measure is an added advantage to the faculty as well as to the non-teaching staff. So if at least one activity, one welfare measure can be taken from the list, I think that would be fine.
Yes, yes.
I'm not in a position to say anything about the genuineness of the claims made by the colleges. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Okay, does anybody have any other questions?
Sir, excuse me.
Yes.
Sir, I am Dr. B. Preeta from SRNM College. So I want to have, I'm having a small doubt in the last question, sir.
Yes, teacher, please.
Sir, in the regarding that 6.5.3 question, that is collaborative initiatives with other institutions.
Okay.
Sir, you have told you that only the MOU signed between the other institutions can be given for that answer. That is regarding the collaborative initiatives.
Okay.
My question is, other than MOUs, we have organized many programs with the other institutions without signing MOUs. So whether it may be applicable for that, or only the MOU signed can be taken into account.
Usually when we speak about institutional collaboration, a formal MOU would be welcome actually.
Okay.
So if that would be the ideal situation, if any institution with whom you are organizing an event, it will be
Okay.
ideal if you can just frame an MOU and sign it. And as a major item, you can include that we will conduct training programs in collaboration. That can be added as an item, right?
Okay.
A formal MOU would be welcome. But if you don't have an MOU, but if you already have conducted programs in collaboration with other institutions, of course,
Okay.
you can upload those documents.
Okay.
I think they will be considered to a certain extent.
Okay, sir. And also, I was too late for the session regarding the strategic planning, sir. Whether it should be a 10-year plan or what is a 5 years plan regarding that?
That is what I said. It is a general picture about perspective plannings. Perspective plannings are usually long-term plannings, but it can be divided into subsectors of shorter duration, maybe of 2 years, 3 years, up to 5 years. So we can have it for shorter duration also, but our long-term goal also may be there.
Okay, sir.
So
So whether that should be a committee for that strategic planning or already existing planning and evaluation committee of the college can do that?
Yeah, that definitely the committee can do that, or even the IQAC can make a perspective plan. There's no problem. IQAC is meant for this also, no?
Oh, okay, sir. Sir, another question is, nowadays we are conducting workshops and FDPs for 1 day or 2 day programs. But regarding that that FDP training programs of the faculty members conducted in online or offline, the number of faculty members may be, that is, we cannot get more number of faculty members who have attended above 1 week programs, because most of the faculty members have attended only 2 days programs, 3 days programs, but it is not included. So whether 1 week is the constraint for that answer?
1 week is for the formal faculty FDPs conducted as per the regulations by UGC or ICT, etc. The minimum duration, especially we have for promotions like 7 days, 14 days. So that question is with regard to such trainings. But we can also conduct faculty development programs for teaching staff as well as non-teaching staff, as you said. That is also possible.
Okay.
But in that place where it is mentioned, you need to include only at least minimum 1 week program. I don't think it is possible to include a program of a shorter duration.
Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Okay, teacher. Thank you.
So any other doubts? Does anyone have any other doubts? Okay, so, okay. Yes, the feedback form is shared in the chat link. Now, let me invite Dr. Divya S. to officially propose the vote of thanks.
Good afternoon, one and all. I'm here to express my gratitude to the resource person of this particular session on behalf of IQAC Bishop New College. Respected resource person, Father Dr. Gigi Thomas, you actually highlighted the importance of developing global competencies among students and inculcating value systems. We were extremely fortunate to listen to you minutely discuss all the metrics and the documentation that is required with each metrics. We are thankful to you that you spend your valuable time with us in today's afternoon session. And I wholeheartedly express my gratitude on behalf of the Internal Quality Assurance Cell, Bishop Moore College, Mavelikara. Thank you very much, Achin, for spending your time with us. I also take this opportunity to thank Mr. Rahul Jacob Kurula for sharing this particular session. And I would also like to take this opportunity to thank the participants who made the session informative and interesting by asking questions. Thank you all once again. And we will meet again sharp at 2:45 for the next invited talk. Thank you very much, everyone, once again.